Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome back to the channel. Today we are taking a look at the Marvel Legends Across the Spider-Verse Miles Morales. Now, just as my Peter B video, I'm filming all three of the Spider-Verse figures, Miles, Spot, and Peter, at the same time, so that way I can get a better, more thought-out review when I get them out of the box. So that's why they're all like this. Again, by the time I actually get the figure part, like where I'm talking about the figure itself, should be lit again, all that stuff. So, also, I would like to thank Nerdzoic. About knocked over everything in the back. I went on a hunt for 2 hours away from where I live, going to Walmarts and Targets looking for these guys, and I couldn't find them anywhere. And once I'd given up hope of ever getting them early, wouldn't you know, he sent out a tweet saying he had them in stock. Last I checked, Peter B, Jessica Drew, and the Spot were still in stock, but that might change. Everyone else was out of stock. Same with the full sets of them. So I do hope to find 2099 and Spider-Punk, which you can see there on the back. And again, with this one, same as Peter, I absolutely love these backdrops they're using. The only thing I'm kind of confused... Oh, I guess that's supposed to be the webbing, like his web line there, the white streak. Just looks off to me. But with all that out of the way, let's get Miles out of the packaging and get a nice look at his figure. Before we take a look at Miles himself, let's get a quick look at his accessories. And to start with, we have his heads. Now, I gotta say, I like both of these quite a bit. I do wish they didn't really go with the blue here. But overall, it's fine. Like, I do actually prefer this texturing compared to the SH Figuarts ones. And speaking of SH Figuarts, another thing Marvel Legends did better outside of texturing was the Miles Morales face. This is so much better. I get SH Figuarts beat him on the Gwen by Miles. You know, I crack myself up sometimes. But in all reality, I think this face is so much better. I don't know if it's a nicer sculpt, because I think his hair is a little big, and you'll see that when I get it on the figure. But that's also me comparing it to like the first movie, so we'll see. When it comes to his hands, he has two types, fist and thwipping. Both sides look like this, so I don't think I'll really bother showing them. There's no paint defects. But they do look incredibly nice, I have to say. I love the little red detailing on the bottoms. So cool, so unique. Let's actually look at the figure now. I don't think I need to waste your guys' time anymore. And here we have the Miles Morales figure. And I have to say, I really like this one. I don't know if it would even crack top 10 so far of this year, even Marvel Legends. I don't know if it cracked top 20, but it's still really good. And I'll get to why I don't think it really is the best. But real quick, let's go over articulation. So, starting off, his head, of course, looks all the way up. You're going to have no problem with that. And I don't know why my camera can't focus today. You'll see it in a few other videos. It's just struggling. But you know what? We don't have to let that get in the way of a great review now, do we? Do we? I don't think we do. Looks down pretty far, but it does leave it looking pretty broke. So, yeah, you can't really shift it back. He's just looks broke if he... I mean, it looks fine from that angle. But from back here, I mean, it looks good there too. Again, though, back here makes it look like he just got his neck broke. Arms go out into a nice old T-pose. If the camera will focus, you'll see it even better that the bicep does have a full 360-degree turn. He has some double jointed elbows, which do allow him to reach behind his back. I know, how fascinating, that actually go past the double jointed mark, because you can't. I don't want to break it, but you can get it looking like that. Of course, the hands do a full 360 turn. They move up and down, and of course, really quickly to get it out of the way. Of course, the same goes for this arm. I do have a bit more trouble getting this one to move, but it does work also. Again, hand does full 360 turn, goes down and up. Alright, now we get to the weird stuff. So, Miles here has a nice old ab crunch. Goes forward really far, and it goes back really far. Now, number one, they didn't paint the red all the way through. So, if you want it to stay, and if I want my camera to focus on it, you can really only go there, but it's not really designed to go past that, because you'll see how those two legs break off. And I'd love to know why my camera wants to focus on that wall so much. But of course it doesn't go all the way, so that does bug me quite a bit. The other thing that bugs me is when he leans forward, get his arm out of the way so it doesn't look as natural. And if I don't pop his head off, it looks so weird and so wrong. And again, they didn't paint it, so it could look a bit more natural. I really think they should have just went with the old diaphragm joint here instead of an ab crunch where it's just able to move. And I get it, it's probably harder to do that on a spindly figure like Miles, but I wish they would have tried. And of course then you have the old hip rotation, which is very clicky. Legs go up that far, has a full 360 degree thigh cut, 90 degree double jointed knees. Feet go out that far, and as you saw there, it's really easy to bend his ankle off, so don't push it too much. I'm not going to. So his feet go out about yay far. He's not really going to hit those ballerina poses you might want a Spider-Man to do. And I'm not going to do this to both feet because they are both equally as bad. You're seeing like the worst one here. But yeah, foot goes back that far, and again, if my camera would just focus on it, it'd be so much nicer if my phone could just focus. So much better. Alright, there we go. So again, back to the just looking at him, because he's a beautiful figure to look at, I have to be honest in here. Let's just quickly pop that Miles head on so I can. And then, oh, I don't like that. It's very tight fit, so you can probably, if I just be quiet for a second. You know that turning, like the little clicking, that shouldn't be there. That's just from the plastic being so tight around the ball. And you can kind of see what I mean about number one. I do actually think his neck looks too long there. Like, I think this head sits down a bit further. Here, let me just quickly. I guess it's actually around the same. So I'll just leave that head off because it's bugging me. But again, though, texturing on this suit was done so much better than SH Figuarts. SH Figuarts took all these little things here and then just indented them in the opposite way from what Legends did. And I don't love it. I really don't. Now, the other thing is the blue. Why is it there? Because I've watched the trailers. I don't think it's in those. Tell me if I'm wrong. Please do. I would love to be wrong and say that, oh yeah, these were there the whole time. You're just a blind buffoon. But I don't think they were. And I also don't know why they're only colored in portions and not through the whole thing. Like, everywhere there's this little grid pattern, they're there. Except for on the arms here. And on the top of his hip here. On the back as well. So I really don't know what that's all about. It's weird. And another thing about this figure that does bring it down a little bit is that he's so spindly, his arms feel like they're going to break every time you move them. So while this is really good for like the price of $25, that's actually really good for this figure. If you got the change and you want the SH Figuarts one, get that. Get that instead because you're going to like it so much better. Now, sometimes Legends and SH Figuarts are comparable, but so often I feel that they're not. Because one's higher end, and like, take the Star-Lord SH Figuarts recently, like the Star-Lord and Rocket 2-pack, which they just made Rocket an accessory. They literally made a worse Rocket than Hasbro was doing back in 2018 when Guardians 2 came out. They made a worse Rocket and Star-Lord figure than Hasbro as of this year for this film. And I want to know what's happening that they are doing that. Because SH Figure Arts, to me, that Tobey Maguire figure is the only one I've heard of that's really good. But you know what? This isn't a video about SH Figure Arts. I don't think I need to rant on them. You came here to see if I like this figure or not. And I give this figure a thumbs up. I mean, I'd recommend it. If you like this version of Miles, I should say, go out and get this one. I was going to put him up next to the original 2018 Into the Spider-Verse Miles that was just the Ultimate Spider-Man body, but I lost it, so sadly I can't do that. But let's get him scaled up and put him next to some other figures. So Miles is coming in at, if I don't hit 1,000 things trying to read it, about 5.5 inches tall, which is not that bad for Miles. I have to be honest. It could be a lot worse, which does make him a bit shorter than Peter B. And if you didn't watch that review, which should have been posted Monday, if I get this out on, let's see, what day will it be? It should come out on a Thursday. Hopefully I'm not making myself look like a jackass here by saying all this. But you know what? If I do, that's okay. I really would just love for my light to not be shining all over. So here he is next to Peter B. from Into the Spider-Verse. And of course, I do think this Miles should be more scaled up than if they were to do an Into the Spider-Verse Miles, who should be a little shorter, because this one I think is 2 years later. Could be wrong about that. I don't know. And here he is next to his first villain, the Kingpin. Now, of course, this is the comic Build-A-Figure one, but that's really all I have to compare. They didn't make an Into the Spider-Verse one, and they have not yet released their Vincent D'Onofrio one. I'm sorry if I'm starting to get a little frog in my throat and coughing. I've been talking for a while now, so yeah, let's go ahead and try and wrap this review up, so that way I don't ruin your hearing. So, overall, I'd say this figure is really good. I have to be honest, I like it a lot. I know I've kind of been saying that, but I do want people to know about the downsides of this figure, because it's not all sunshine and rainbows, you know what I mean. Your legs are a little soft, plasticky. They're really easy to bend and warp if you're not careful. And I know I just had a bad voice crack. It's getting worse. I gotta wrap this up soon. So, thank you all for watching. If you did go on to enjoy, please consider hitting that like button and do subscribe, as I am starting to cover, hopefully very soon, the Indiana Jones line. I'm going to finish the Conchu one. I just got my Guardians in today, so those will be out soon. I got the rest of the Spider-Verse coming eventually, because it's one I'm only doing in stores. We got G.I. Joes, we got Star Wars, we got just about anything and everything, and very soon I want to delve into talking about film as well, but those will take more time, so they're going to be more sparse. And I will catch you in the next one. Peace.